This is the infotainment system that you're going to find inside of the Honda HR-V, and it's pretty simple to use. You've got your basic home button there. You can push connect in order to be able to connect a device or back. You can push in the middle in order to be able to mute audio, so you're essentially toggling it off. And then you've got your volume rocker there. And just a basic setup along the home screen. You can look at audio sources, sound settings, etc. But diving into our audio, tapping into sources, you've got FM, AM, USB. So if you had a USB stick, so it's USB Type-C with MP3s or other audio files, you could listen that way. There's Bluetooth and other sources. You can tune to a station this way. It's probably the least intuitive way to do it. You can seek this way if you'd like to. You can scan or look at all of your available stations. So you can see what different stations are available. You can refresh if you're new to an area. If we just click on a random station, if you wanted to be able to save a preset in, all you're going to do is push and hold, and that's going to save the preset in. You can push and hold again, and that's going to bring you up to this screen where you can remove the favorite, you can replace it, but if you push and hold till you get that noise, you could then readjust it. So if you wanted to be able to swap presets out, you could push and hold again in order to remove it, and then you just have to reorganize those presets that way, and then back to lock them into place. And if we look at AM, it's going to be its own separate setup. So AM and FM have their own unique preset pages. As I mentioned, you've got the scan function there. You can go menu in order to see different sound settings too. So you can adjust out the bass, mid-range, and treble. So this is balanced out. But what I've found is that the bass up a few points with the treble up a point or two tends to give pretty good audio. But what I'd recommend here is play one of your favorite songs. And while that's playing, adjust these out until it sounds perfect for your ears. And then just back in order to lock it into place. You can adjust it the balance and fade. So do you want it driver focused, rear focused, etc. So you can hit front, rear, recenter it back into the middle again. And then speed compensated volume, so it can automatically adjust the volume for you, just depending on how fast you're going. Now, once all of your presets are set up inside of the infotainment system here, inside of the steering wheel cluster, so you've got your button along the outside. So if you tap your home button there, that brings you up to this page. Then once you're in this page, you just use the little scroll wheel to move up and down, and we're looking for audio. So you can tap audio now, and you can move between all of your available sources. So you can adjust out sources this way, and then back along the steering wheel, you can also move between your presets this way, and then adjust your volume up and down. But if you want full walkthroughs on the steering wheel buttons or the cluster, you'll find that down in the description of this video. Back home from there, you've got your sound settings there, or back to your audio, and mute out again. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto available, and you can go into your phones there too. So let's go ahead and connect a new device, search for devices, and on your phone, you're just going to Bluetooth, and we've got phone that popped up there. Perfect. Pin numbers match up, so let's go ahead and pair. Perfect. Now you can stop here, so you're connected over Bluetooth for phone calls and for audio. But one nice thing is that you do also have CarPlay that's available inside of the ride, and it is backwards compatible, so it is wireless, but you can also use a USB Type-C cable if you want to. So USB-C is available inside of this ride for backwards compatibility, but we're wireless with a wireless charge pad. So let's go ahead and use CarPlay. It's going to take a second, and look at that. We are fully connected. Along the top there, you've got your current time, connection, battery levels, and then you've got apps that were last open. So last open map, audio application, miscellaneous. You can go here in order to go to your basic home screen. Home screen here is not customizable at all. So you're going to have your search and your audio box there, along with a series of different icons. Now, if you can't even get to this point because CarPlay is not connecting, check down in the description of this video for a little walkthrough on some things that you can try. And then on the steering wheel, you've got a voice command prompt. So if you push and hold, that's going to activate your Siri Assistant for you. So pretty simple there. And then you've got the option of customizing this icon layout a little bit too, if you'd like, and also the screen a tiny little bit. So if you go into your settings there, you can put yourself in a driving focus. You can adjust the wallpaper. So if there's a different style that works for you, you can set that up. And then adjusting out the icon layout is possible. So all you're going to do on your phone, you're just going to go into your settings, general, and then CarPlay, find your vehicle. You can forget it, customize, or turn CarPlay off, but you just want to customize. So let's say if you have, I don't know, a tendency, maybe you're a bigger fan of using one map application, audio application, you can adjust these out. Anything with a minus next to it, you can remove it from the screen. So you can either remove things and then you can add them back in if you'd like to. But if you've played around with the layout too much and you don't like what you've done, on your phone, top right side, there's a reset button. So you just tap reset, reset, and that's just going to bring you back to the factory default icon layout. You've got a ton of different apps that are available. Apple Maps, Google Maps, and Waze are all here. The downside to all of these map applications inside of Apple CarPlay is that there's no pinch to zoom capabilities. So you can move around no problem, no pinch to zoom. But people are pretty good at marking things off on the route as you go. So if there are speed traps set up, things like that, people are pretty good at giving other people a heads up that there's something going on. You can mark things off on the map yourself. YouTube Music is available there, but you're not able to watch YouTube videos through Apple CarPlay. It's just not a feature that's available as of yet. You can go back home this way here, or you can swipe across. You can hit the home icon to get out of CarPlay. You can tap back in that way. But if you go back into your home screen, general settings, and then connections, that brings you up to this, currently connected to Apple CarPlay. So you can disconnect from CarPlay if you want to. So if you just want to be connected to your phone strictly for phone calls, you'd have that flexibility. So for audio or for phone calls, you can kind of do a little bit of a mix and match there if you want to. You can tap options there in order to adjust a few things out. Hop in here in order to say whether or not you get calls, contacts, audio streaming, or you can delete the device that way. But that's how you set up Apple devices inside of this ride. Setting up Android devices inside of the HRV is pretty straightforward. If you weren't on the connections screen back home, you could technically just tap Android Auto. You'd have your phone option there, but just general settings, connections, and then connect a new device. And then on your Android, you're just waiting for, there we go, Honda HRV to show up. Perfect, pin numbers match up, so let's go ahead and pair. And we're connected now. Do you want all access to contacts and messages? This is not my car, so I'm saying no to that one. And you can stop here. So you're connected over Bluetooth, so you'll be able to make phone calls and stream audio, but you've also got Android Auto support too. USB Type-C compatible, so if you wanted to go backwards compatibility with wired, you'd have that flexibility, but we're wireless, so let's go ahead and use Android Auto. And boom, we are fully connected now. You've got your search box there, an audio box along the top. Along the bottom of the screen, you've got this option, so you can jump into your icon view, back to this screen. You can tap here to activate your Google Assistant on your phone. Push the voice command prompt in order to be able to activate your assistant that way if you'd like to. And then from there, you've got a bunch of other icons along the bottom with your current time, connection, and your battery level there too. Now on the phone, I've got Waze installed, but if you've got Waze installed on your Android device and it's not showing up, check down in the description of this video for a little walkthrough on how you can add Waze into your device if it's not there. And you've also got the flexibility of being able to customize these icons a tiny little bit. In order to be able to do it on your phone, you're just going to search for Android Auto. You're going to go into your Android Auto settings, and then from there, just look for Customize Launcher, which is going to bring you up to this screen. Anything with a check mark next to it, you can either add it in or remove it from the screen. You can also just do a push and hold if you wanted to be able to adjust these out. So if you wanted icons laid out differently, you could. In order for these changes to come into effect, just go to your home screen, General Settings, Connections. You're just going to disconnect from Android Auto, so just click on either of those other two options. Reconnect to Android Auto. And look at that. The changes that we've made there have now come into effect, so it's pretty simple there. One thing that I do like about Android Auto is that you've got full pinch to zoom capabilities, which is just something you don't have on the iPhone side, unfortunately. If you go back to your general settings here, connections, you've got both phones that have been connected, so you can either be hooked up to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, not both, but you can do this. Watch this. So you can be connected to Android Auto, and then you can be connected to the iPhone for audio, and then you can do a mix and match of these two. So if you wanted one phone for phone calls, one phone for media, you can do that. You can tap options there to set a priority device. So if you've got multiple phones connected, who's it going to try to connect to first? You can change your vehicle name as well, and then you can hop in here in order to delete devices. So delete, delete. Deleted the one device, and we've got the Galaxy connected. So let's go ahead and delete and delete. And you're set to go. And it's that easy setting up Android and iPhone devices inside of the HRV. If you tap on options, you could change your vehicle name if you'd like to, and then your Wi-Fi settings there too. There are some more advanced system settings available. You'd set those up inside of the cluster screen inside of the ride. So if you want to walk through on the steering wheel buttons of the cluster, you'll find that down in the description of this video. There are a series of system settings available. You can adjust the date and time by clicking here or by tapping the time along the top. You can change it out. Do you prefer that 12 versus 24-hour mode? You can set your date and time, and these are grayed out because they're in the auto mode. So if you wanted to adjust out your auto, you could, and then you can manually set the date and time there if you'd like to. Same thing with your time zone and then your date format. What format do you want to be in? Time zone, I'd recommend keeping that one there. You can adjust your time zone there along with your format for the date and time. You can adjust it languages. So do you want to be in either English, French, or Spanish? You can do a factory reset too. So that's essentially going to wipe everything from the infotainment system. If you're running into problems with CarPlay, Android Auto, etc., there is a way to do a soft screen reboot. I'll show you towards the end of this infotainment walkthrough. You can adjust the sensitivity of the touchscreen here. There's some basic legal info. You can see all of your connection options there. So if you were connected to devices, those would show up here. Some basic display options. You can adjust out the brightness, the black levels, reset everything off, or turn the display off, back to life again. There are some sound settings, which we've already seen. So adjusting the treble, mid-range, and bass. You can adjust out sound volumes for different system settings. So if you wanted to have a lower volume there, you could. For voice recognition, so your assistant, what level do you want to be at? Volumes and ringtones and things like that. You can adjust out rear cameras. So you've got your fixed dynamic guidelines and then your monitor. So flipping into reverse for a second. So you've got obviously your rear monitor there where you've got a few different views that are available, but you've got your guidelines there. So these are the fixed guidelines that are yellow, but as you rotate the steering wheel, you see that it moves orange, and then it's going to let you know which way the vehicle is going to be turning as you go to shift. From there, you could look at some different views here too. So if you wanted that different type of view, adjust out the brightness there too. So you've got your fixed versus dynamic guidelines and then your cross traffic monitor. So as you go to back up, if somebody's coming perpendicular, so from the right or the left side, it's going to let you know that there's somebody there. As I was mentioning, if you're running into problems with the screen, so Apple CarPlay is not working, Android Auto is not working, or there's some other weird system issues, you can do the full factory reset, but you can also do a soft reboot. In order to be able to do the reboot, it's pretty simple. All you're going to do, you're going to take that home button, push and hold it for a few seconds. You're going to come up to this screen. So if you just reboot, and look at that, we're going through a reboot cycle. It was very similar to doing a reset on your phone. So what we're doing is we're essentially wiping the cache. So if that doesn't fix the issues that you're facing, the next step would be to do that full factory reset. If that doesn't work, you're going to have to bring it into your Honda dealership for them to have a look at it. Though I know that's a little bit of info there, but that's what you need to know about the infotainment system inside of the Honda HR-V.